Good morning. As usual, TVC has a finger on the pulse, and if it's trending, then we are definitely going to be talking about it. In our first story, yesterday, a viral video circulated on social media capturing a livid Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. Now, the heated outburst followed Justice Binta Nyako's decision on Monday, February 10th, to indefinitely adjourn his trial after Kanu insisted she could not preside over his case. Let's take a look at this short clip.
It's a federal gazetted law of Nigeria that says here that the chief judge of Nigeria cannot tell Binta Nyako what to do. It's here. It's your law. Just obey it. That is why I do what I do. I agitate for Biafra. I agitate for Biafra, my right to agitate. My right.
Kanu had earlier filed a petition against Justice Nyako, and he accused her of judicial misconduct and demanded that the case be transferred to the Southeast. As usual, I am extremely curious to know what the people are thinking. Let's take a look at social media. Nnamdi tweeted, "Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a victim of Nigeria's criminal justice system. Even judges don't know the laws of Nigeria. He needs to be released over this charade of judicial rascality." Olusegun says, "The fact remains that you might not like Mazi, but everything he's saying is the truth." T Oracle says, "A lack of knowledge of the law, even from the so-called SAN." Damoxy tweeted, "He's going to rot in detention. He doesn't know what he has entered into. All this shout will never save him. He cannot intimidate anyone. He can only shout." And finally, Joe tweeted, "But wait, doesn't this guy have lawyers? I've never seen anyone represent himself in court. It's called the concept of pro se, and we see this with a lot of charismatic figures who take laws into their own hands." We look forward to watching this story as it unfolds. In our next story, Dele Oyewale, the head of media for the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, the EFCC, it's trending online after he stated that many home intrusions attributed to the agency are actually carried out by imposters. Now, his comments come amid growing public scrutiny following the death of EFCC officer last month, Aminu Sahabi Salisu, during a sting operation. Take a look at what Dele Oyewale had to say.
It's a carrot and stick thing. We have our own way of dealing with that. Okay. And don't forget that it is not all of these cases where you have people breaking in and, all of these, most times they are not EFCC officers. I am telling you. I have had calls severally to say that some of these kids that you see online, you see people wearing happy car, wearing all these funny things. No, now, that's not EFCC. I'm telling you. But people do that to discredit us, and we have been shouting and shouting and shouting, I can't recollect how many press statements I have written to say that all of these people, they are not from us. Now, if someone comes and he says, "Oh, I am from the EFCC," ask him to establish his identity.
Now, of course, this video is inciting conversation over the ethics and transparency of the agency's tactics. Oyewale's statement aims to distance the EFCC from unauthorized raids, but many Nigerians are, of course, remaining skeptical, and they're questioning the agency's accountability and the potential misuse of its authority. I'm going to take a look at some social commentary now to hear what you guys are saying about this. Rinu Oduala tweeted, "You have heard from the head of the official EFCC." Well, he's actually the spokesperson. "Anyone breaking into your house under the guise of EFCC is an armed robber." Finding Solace had this to say. She says, I should call you to verify in the middle of the night when your customer service lines are not even available during the day. It's important that we ask the tough questions. OK Belgium tweeted, "They are not EFCC until one of them is shot and he magically turns out to be EFCC." And finally, the same Rinu says, "So the one who was shot dead wasn't an EFCC officer. Got it. Now, I think it's very, very important that the agency clarify for us right now, how are we able to be distinct and know who is an EFCC official and who is an armed robber or who is an intruder? What do you guys think about this?
They have told you what to do as Nigerians. Obviously, people are reacting as the matter of trust is still a major issue here. That's why people are reacting the way they are reacting when it comes to this matter. They say, reach out to us to confirm, request for their ID cards, request for anything to identify themselves. And if at the heat of the moment that you couldn't do that, then perhaps afterwards you can look at filing a case before the courts to say that these are the issues. If eventually you find out that it's an EFCC official that came to invade your space, whichever way you see. But as an EFCC official, you should have a means of identifying yourself as you say that you are invading people's home. But to Nnamdi Kanu's case now, Justice Binta Nyako had recused herself from his case initially, but now the case is before her, and he is really livid about this whole matter. I believe that the technicalities of his case and the law, a lot of people do not understand it. So I believe in due course, people will begin to understand the matters around his case.
Well, Nnamdi Kanu, a very illegal drone battle is been there for like, it's not going to end. But then we hope that it ends, anytime soon because of the political, not interference, trying to settle things amicably. But his agitation, his anger, even to his lawyer, further adds another layer to his legal battle, with the federal government. But I want to believe as what he says, because Southeast, we need peace in the Southeast. He is fighting their cause, according to him, that if he is released, well, is it 1 minute or a second?
2 minutes.
2 minutes. Yeah, he said 2 minutes. The Southeast will return to what it used to be, the glorious Southeast. So we just hope that they find a middle ground and resolve this issue so that Nnamdi Kanu can go back to his family and his people.
I mean, I'm a staunch believer that when you want to raise a point or advocate for yourself, anger really takes away from your point. So people are not focusing on what Nnamdi Kanu is saying, but the way in which he's saying it detracts from his point. But
that's typical of an activist. You don't expect an activist to speak, quietly.
But touching or tapping your lawyer to say, I'm talking, don't say, that was wrong from my perspective. That was wrong. You should be able to hold yourself, to just manage your anger, your emotions, whatever the case. That's but right. For me, that was wrong.
That's right.
Let's all be calming down.